From sea to shining sea, America's favorite uncle, Bumpkin Bob.
Hey y'all, this is Bumpkin Bob coming to you from the Bumpkin Media Studios here in Siloam Springs, Arkansas, just like we do every month. Hey, make sure, get this right out up front. You follow us on Twitter at Bumpkin Bob Show. Make sure you find us on Facebook, join the Bumpkin Army. Make sure you go listen to our podcast anywhere you can find a podcast, iTunes, whatever, we're there. So make sure you get over there and listen to that, because you're going to hear things on the podcast, little 15-minute blurps that we do during the week that you're not going to hear here. So make sure you go check that out. We're going to get into some things today. Going to hear a little bitching from Bumpkin Bob. I got at least one pet peeve that I've got to get off my chest. But let's talk about something really important, because we hadn't had a lot to talk about on this subject since probably December or January, and that's our beloved Arkansas Razorbacks. As of filming today, they have earned their spot in the College World Series. I can't talk today. The College World Series over there in Omaha, Nebraska. As of filming today, we're still waiting on Mississippi State and Oregon State to play. Those of you that keep up with baseball know that this part of the tournament's a double elimination. Going into yesterday's game, Arkansas was in the winner bracket, Florida was in the loser bracket. We won, so that means we advance, because that was the second loss for Florida. Mississippi State and Oregon State were on the other side of the bracket. Mississippi State being in the winner's bracket, Oregon State being in the loser's bracket. And unfortunately, Mississippi State got their butt handed to them. And so they're having to play again today, which I'm not like a baseball guru or nothing, but in my opinion, I think that's a good thing. They both have one loss. So whoever wins today advances to Monday night's game. So that means they got to go in their bullpen. If they want to advance, they got to win. So they got to go in their bullpen, pull out their A1 number one top-ass motherfucking throw down, hum the fastball, curveball, slider, knuckleball, main mother that they got. So hopefully that means if he has to throw today on both teams, no matter which one we have to play, that means maybe he won't be available to like game 3 if it goes that long. The College World Series, when they get into this part, the finals is a best of 3 series. So, I'll be honest with you, y'all. I mean, I know. I've been their biggest critic in the past probably. But I really, really feel good about this. I don't keep up with a lot of baseball, but I really feel good about Arkansas's chances. They're really playing good baseball right now. I think if you ask probably 90% of the coaches in the U.S. today, they'll say Dave Van Horn is the best college baseball coach going. And he has said it a lot this season. This is the best and deepest roster that he's had. So this is their best chance. They got great hitting, great pitching. We're just going to have to wait and see till Monday night. Hopefully, and I really feel good about this, I think when we do next month, we're going to be saying that Arkansas is national champ baseball. And that means, let me tell you what's going on here too. And I'm going to ask anybody that's viewing to hit me back with some feedback on this, because I have a question that I'm going to put out there to y'all, because I hadn't been able to find the answer to it. And I'm not saying, I'm just not a Google expert. I can't get on there and find everything. And some of you people can find answers to shit nobody can. If Arkansas wins a national championship in baseball, they become one of only 5 NCAA teams that have a football national championship, 1964 for us. Has a basketball national championship, 1994 for us, and a baseball national championship. One of only 5. I mean, that's a big deal, people. That's something that will help their athletic program far and beyond the years from now. What I would like to know is if they win it, and let's say theoretically they end up with a national championship in football, basketball, and baseball. They also have, and I'm just talking about the men's side right now. We don't even have to include the women's side yet, but we could go there too. But we'll have those 3, plus on the men's side, we'll have an indoor, outdoor track, and a cross country, I'm pretty sure. And it's like, okay, how many NCAA schools can say they have those 6 national championships at their school? I mean, that would be pretty impressive right there. And I personally think that would help all the way across the board. And talking about the ladies' side, everybody knows that the lady backs, I don't think they call them that anymore. I think there's a little discrepancies. But their golf team won the SEC tournament this year. Their SEC championships. Well, 2 of those girls off of that team and 2 other former Razorback golfers are playing here at Pinnacle this weekend as we're filming in the LPGA. And one of them was actually leading the tournament as of end of play yesterday. So, man, it's a good day and it's a good month and it's a good weekend to be a Razorback fan. I hope, and let me tell you right now, I know my brother-in-law and sister went out there a couple of years ago. Can't make it this year, I know. I mean, by the time this shows, it's going to be over and be done with. But please, if you have a chance and you like golf and you're into it, make plans to come up here next year, here in the northwestern part of the state, out here to Rogers and Bentonville to Pinnacle Golf Range, or Champions, I think is what it's actually played on, and be part of this and see the LPGA. I mean, and I heard yesterday, I mean, we're talking about a $2 million purse. The winner of this tournament takes home $300,000. That's pretty good on the LPGA side. So there is a lot of things going on. I know my son and daughter-in-law yesterday, during the same time they hold this thing up in Bentonville called Bite, and all the restaurants around here set up and you buy a ticket. And I wish I could remember now how many tickets they sell to that, but they sell tickets to it and you go in and you get to eat free food from a bunch of the restaurants here in Northwest Arkansas, and you get to drink and get free samples of locally brewed beer from here in Northwest Arkansas. So make plans to come up here to the LPGA next year. And while you're doing that, if they're holding the Bite Festival the same, and Bite, I'm saying B-I-T-E, the same week, make plans, get tickets to go to that. Go to the golf tournament all 3 days or whatever, and then one night you can go over there to that, and you're going to fill up because you can get free hamburgers, free barbecue, free wings. Got all kinds of things over there. It's really a neat thing, so make sure you get tickets to that. Kind of pissed at my son because I thought he was going to remind everybody and we were all going to get tickets to that this year, but we didn't. So, love you. One thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to try not to get carried away on this and spend a whole lot of time on it. I'm probably going to catch a lot of hell over it, but I got a pet peeve about some things this week, and it's like, it has to do with bicycles and people walking. It's like I don't know. Okay, let's start with walking. I don't know if this is a law or not, but it's common sense. When you walk on a road that does not have a sidewalk, you're supposed to walk against traffic. So, not with traffic. Does that make any sense to everybody? And also, when you're walking, please, for God's sakes, think about where the sun is at. And it's like, if you're walking with traffic and the sun's in your eyes, well, then it's in the eyes of the people coming up behind you, and they may not see your dumb ass. So you got to think about shit like that. The thing that's really pissing me off here lately is like as we get into summer more, you're seeing more people on bicycles out. And the thing that really pisses me off is I don't know how many millions of dollars that Fayetteville, Springdale, Rogers, Bentonville, and Bella Vista have spent to make almost 40 miles of bike trails and walking lanes. But yet we still have these people that are determined to ride out in the road. Well, it's my legal right. Yeah, it is. But here's part of my pet peeve. You legally can be on the road with motorized vehicles. If you got balls big enough to be out there riding with motorized vehicles, you legally can do it. I understand that. But I also understand that part of that is you're supposed to obey all fucking traffic laws. Every day this past week, and I know we're filming monthly, but I'm just using this past week as an example. Every day the past week of my life, I have had a bicycle either run a stop sign, run a stop light, not signal, riding on and that's something else. If you're walking, you're supposed to walk against traffic. If you're riding a bicycle, you're supposed to be riding in the same direction as traffic, in the same lane with traffic. And I've had a bicycle riding in the wrong lane, and it's like they just haphazardly fucking do it. It's like when they put on those spandex shorts, you would think when they cut off the blood flow to their balls that blood flow would go to their brain and they'd be a little smarter. But apparently they're not. They get on those damn bicycles and they lose all common sense. And they go with this attitude of, well, I legally can be here. And you can. But that doesn't mean you have to check your common sense at the door before you climb on that damn bicycle. It's like common fucking sense. And we're going to extend this into something else real quick. It's like people in bicycles, especially when y'all are riding in big groups, people driving farm equipment on the fucking highway. I legally can be here. I fucking know you can. And people driving construction equipment, have a little common courtesy. I've seen y'all, big groups of bicycles, pedaling down the highway with 50 cars behind you, and you're acting like you ain't got a care in the world. Where speed limit's 55 and we're doing 20 down a damn state highway with 40 or 50 people behind you because y'all won't move off, find a place, move off and let traffic get on by. It's the same way with farm equipment and construction equipment. You know, if your boss tells you take that backhoe and drive 14 miles up there to the gas station and fill it up with diesel, there's places along the way you can pull off the road and let traffic by. You know, it's like they think because they legally can be there that they don't have to show any common courtesy. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know what it's like. It's like stupidity or something. You people are really, I don't know if y'all can tell this or not. That just drives me insane, especially the bicycles. And And the other thing, we're going to get into something else now. And it's like, I don't understand why, or maybe they do, and I just don't see it because you don't see enough of them. But it's like city police and county sheriffs. When y'all see bicyclists not obeying traffic laws, do you pull them over? I mean, what do they get a ticket for that? Because they should. And it's like, I don't know. I cringe when I see cars run red lights. And it's like, when I see bicyclists do it, I close my eyes because it's just like, oh my God, you know, he's got the hand saying stop on the crosswalk, but they just blow through it. And it's like, I just cringe and think, oh my God, he's going to get hit because he thinks I'm on a bicycle. I can just blow across this crosswalk, you know, and I'm not going to get in trouble for it. And nobody's going to run over me for it. And it's like, here again, people, I have family members that ride motorcycles. And it's like, I'm scared to death for them because people don't see motorcycles. You people are on bicycles. Do y'all really think people see y'all? And it's like, and then again, and we're getting into driving as a whole. You know, please, for God's sakes, if you're walking, riding a bicycle, or even if you're driving a car, take in the fact of where the sun's at. That's another thing. I see people pull out in traffic or back out of their driveways with oncoming traffic that has the sun in their eyes and might not see them. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm the exception to the rule about that. I mean, I think about when I'm pulling out is like, where's the sun's location? You know, especially if the road I'm pulling onto is an east-west corridor. And is it in their eyes? Are they going to see me? You know, maybe I'm the exception to the rule because I think about I'm probably going to be the one, this poor son bitch that's going to get hit because of that. I am, by the way, the poor son bitch that got hit a few years ago because of somebody running a damn red light. And it's like, people, y'all got to quit doing that. Especially the truck drivers. Here in Siloam, I see it every day. They're running 45, 50 miles an hour, a little bit over the speed limit through Siloam, and they blow through all these red lights. And it's like, number one, I don't know how they've kept from killing somebody 20 times a year or more than that. And number two, I don't understand why our local police don't shut that down. You know, it's like, put something out, you know, on the air. I mean, let it be known that we're not going to put up with people blowing through red lights. They're out there stopping speeders. They're on top of that. If you're 5 miles over speed limit, they're on your ass. But yet you can blow through 3 or 4 red lights and damn near have an accident, and there won't be a damn person around to tell you not to do it. And it's like, I just cringe. I've got to where at red lights, and here's the bad part about it. I did this before I got hit. When my light turns green, I sit there for a second and look both ways to see if some idiot's going to blow through the red light. And what ended up happening, I had an idiot blow through a fucking red light, mainly because I think he was on his cell phone texting, and damn near totaled my truck. And honestly, honest to God, I had me and my boss in my truck with me. I don't know how it kept from hurting either one of us. I honestly don't. I mean, he hit me broadside. Like, I've got an extended cab Chevrolet pickup. I did have pictures on Facebook of it. I don't know if they're still on there or not. Might put them back up on the Bumpkin Bob website. I'll talk to my producer about that so y'all can see. He hit me right at the extended cab into the bed at 45 or 50 miles an hour. He never touched his brake. He picked my truck literally up off the ground and spun it 180 degrees in midair. And I don't know how either one of us kept from getting hurt. It blows my mind to this day. I will say this. There happened to be a state trooper sitting at the same red light about 3 vehicles behind me. I think he was 3, maybe 4. And my boss swears that I had my seatbelt off and was out of the truck before it hit the ground. Because, buddy, I was pissed. And I jerked that guy's door open, and I literally had to jerk it open because it caved in his whole front end. And if that state trooper hadn't have blurped his siren, I'd have beat the hell out of that son of a bitch. That's just God's honest truth. The only thing that brought me back to reality was that. And it's like, that guy just don't know how close he come getting his shit clocked that day. I might not should have told that. But anyway, it's water under the bridge. My truck did get fixed, and we can probably even, we could probably put a picture of that, but I need to wash it first because it's kind of nasty. You know? But wrapping that little segment up, if I can, it's like, bicyclists, pay attention and obey the traffic laws. And it's like, oh my God. And at least these people are riding on the established bike trail. But where it crosses 264, y'all got to quit running those walk and do not walk signs. There's a lot of traffic at that intersection, and I see at least once or twice a week, I see a bicycle blow through that. Now, the good thing is it's usually kids, and I don't mean to sound sexist, kids and women usually stop and push the little button to get the walk, don't walk signs. It's you men that are in your 30s and 20s, 30s, and 40s that think you're indestructible and you got on your little bicycle hat that looks like a teardrop in the back and you're all laid down through there and you come down that bike path, walking trail, whatever you want to call it, and you don't even touch a brake. It doesn't matter whether you've got the walk sign or do not walk sign, whatever. You just blow right across Highway 264, and it's like every time I'm sitting at that light, I just cringe because I know somebody is going to get taken out. And it's like, and I bet you money, most of you guys have wives and kids waiting at home. And it's like, do you really want some sheriff or policeman to have to go tell your wife and kid that you just got mowed over on Highway 264 because you weren't obeying the traffic laws on your damn bicycles? Oh my God, I about talked myself hoarse about this. And believe me, this isn't the first conversation I've had about this. We've been talking about this at work too, because it just drives me crazy. Whew. That's a lot to get off my chest right there. I tell you what, was definitely. I want to make a comment now about something that I did on Facebook the other day. And it got taken wrong because it wasn't taken the way I meant it. Well, I'll just skip what the comment was and get right to the point I was trying to make. And I'm going to use these two places as an example, but it's not the only example. But at Clinton, Arkansas, where I'm from, they have, as far as I know, every year, I don't think it's done odd years or nothing like that. I think they do it every year. They have what's called the alumni banquet and dance. Well, you have to be a graduate of Clinton High School to go to that. Well, if you look in my family, my mom and dad and all his brothers and sisters graduated from Clinton High School. So they all go. or can go. They're eligible. And then I've got several cousins that graduated from Clinton High School that they get to go. And then a few of them, so it'd be grandkids, great grandkids, whatever. A few of their kids, grandkids, whatever, graduate from Clinton, so they get to go. Well, like with me and my sisters, you know, my mom and dad, my dad took a job, as we've talked about before, with Arkansas Electric, and we moved away from Clinton. So none of us, we all graduated from the Pulaski County Special School District, which is the county-wide around Little Rock, North Little Rock. Anybody, you're either in Little Rock, North Little Rock, or Pulaski County School District if you live in Pulaski County. Well, we went to the Pulaski County School District. So we're not eligible to go to that. And then you have a little town north of Clinton called Leslie, Arkansas. They have homecoming and homecoming dance every year. And you don't have to be from Leslie to attend that, but I'm pretty sure most of the people that attended are from Leslie or have ties to Leslie or have cousins who have called and said, hey, why don't you come up and go to homecoming with us? Hint, hint, anybody, or y'all too dense to get that? But the point I was trying to make on my Facebook page is I don't think those people realize how lucky they are. I think a lot of people growing up, and I, to some extent, I think my dad was guilty of this. When they're growing up in these small towns, all they can think about is getting out. You know, it's like, I don't want to raise my kids here. I think raising my kids over here will give them a better opportunity. If I go over here, it's going to give me a better opportunity. But I think when you do that, you miss out on a lot of the small town stuff. I mean, I can remember when my mom and dad were both still alive, them going to the Clinton alumni banquet. And I always thought, man, that would be so cool to have been an alumni of Clinton High School and get to go back to that every year or whenever, however they do that. Like I said, I don't know if they do it every year, or if they do it every 3 years or whatever. I mean, but you see where that comes into play, because in a high school like where I graduated from, where we're graduating 400 people a year, you couldn't do something like that, because, you know, you would have 20 or 30,000 people trying to come to an alumni banquet every year, and that's just the graduates. That wouldn't include their spouses, because the spouses can go. I mean, I guess if I could find somebody to marry from Clinton who's graduated from Clinton High School, I could go to the alumni banquet. But the problem with that is they might be kin to me, and they don't get into, you know, talking about being from Arkansas and all that. So we don't want to do that part either. But it's just, I think people think, oh, I got to get out of here, I don't think how sometimes they realize how lucky they are growing up in a small town. Now, again, I know. It's just like any other situation, small town versus big town. There's pros and cons to both. And I'm sure there are people that were raised, you know, in I'm trying to think of a good thing to say. Let's just use Leslie and Clinton. Probably people that were raised in Leslie and Clinton that never left, spent their whole life there, might wish that, man, I wish I'd have, you know, been born in Atlanta or New York or LA or wherever they think they might have wanted to, because the big cities got all this appeal, and they're 24, you know, the Big Apple never rests. It's 24 hours a day. I mean, you know, there's just as many people that were raised in Little Rock or Atlanta or Kansas City that wishes they were raised in some little place like Clinton or Decatur, Arkansas up here, or, it's like, I know people, man, I don't want to say anything that's going to be kind of like talk about funerals or anything like that, but it's like you go back to a funeral and you don't know anybody, the people, it's like, anyway, that's just kind of a little side thing there. Bothers me a little bit, I guess. But it was kind of taken wrong, and I didn't mean it the way. I mean, I just want to say I don't take that for granted, because there are a lot of people out there that wish they had the same opportunity. I just, in these high schools that graduate 30 or 40 people a year, 50 people a year. And Clinton may graduate more than that now. I don't know what their enrollment is. It's got to be a pretty good sized little town. And that's something else, especially you people that are in your 40s and 50s. There may come a time when Clinton's graduated so many people that the alumni banquet's not feasible to do. Enjoy it while it's still being done, because it may have to quit doing it for some reason. That's another thing that happens as towns expand and get bigger. Things like that happens. So just be kind of aware of it, and when you get right down to it, it's like, going to the Clinton alumni banquet or the Leslie homecoming and knowing people there and rubbing shoulders and talking with people you hadn't talked with in a few years or whatever. I'm jealous of that. I'll just be honest with you. I'm a little jealous of it. I wish time and time again that I'd have grown up in that kind of atmosphere instead of where I grew up at. Now, I'm not going to say that. No one say that? No, I'm not going to say that. But anyway, that's kind of what I meant. I said it the day before Father's Day, and people took it as in I was trying to, I don't know how they took it, but that's not how I meant it. It wasn't a Father's Day thing. I wasn't trying to remember, Bobby Dean going there or whatever. I mean, that's not what it was about. People were posting about the Leslie homecoming. It was also that weekend. It got me thinking about the alumni banquet, and I just wanted to say something about that. As we move on today, first off, something that's currently in the news today that I want to cover and say my little 2 cents worth on, and my producer may come in here and pull my plug here in a minute. I don't know. But Sarah Huckabee, who is our press secretary, basically, and I'm going to say this because it's true, because the person that did it posted about it, and Sarah Huckabee posted about it. Basically went to a restaurant last night, and as of filming today, it happened last night. And the owner, she had 7 or 8 family members with her. The owner came out and asked them to leave, told them they wouldn't serve them because he was a Democrat and he had moral issues. So she, and this is what everybody on Twitter and Instagram and everything else, her and her party quietly got up and excused themselves and left. They went somewhere else and ate. And that's basically all she said. She said, yeah, it happened. We all got up and left because we're respectful. That's what I got out of it. If that had happened flip-flopped, if it had been a Republican had walked out and told, one of the Democratic congressmen or one of Obama's people, like his Democratic press secretary, that he wasn't going to serve them, oh my God, it would be all over the fucking news. Everybody'd be screaming about it. And it's just like the couple that owns the bakery, that they're Christians and they didn't want to make a cake for a gay wedding. And oh my God, the liberals got all up in arms about it. If you've got a business, you have to serve everybody equally. Well, we had a Democratic restaurant owner last night refuse to serve a Republican and her family. Did they make a stink about it? Or, no. They got up and quietly left. It's me making a stink about it, not her. She just did it. My whole deal is y'all are fucking nuts when it comes to bullshit like this. You damn, you beat the drum when it happens to somebody on your side, but you think it's okay when it happens to somebody on the Republican side. And it's like, y'all have no equal librium for everything. It's like, we're going to do whatever we want to do and y'all don't get to do shit. And it's like that crap's got to come to an end. And that whole thing going into, and I'll be honest with you, and it's like, you could try. I have a new ball cap in case y'all haven't noticed. Trying to get the bill broke in there. I'm not one of these guys that wears the flat thing. I'll still like mine kind of bent over like I always have. But I honestly have tried to avoid the bullshit with the Russian probe, and I've honestly tried to avoid the bullshit with immigration the last couple of weeks. It's bombarding all of us. It's stupid. The whole thing in a nutshell is the Russian probe has went on way too long. That motherfucker's just drawn a check. I don't care what anybody says. And he's drawn it at taxpayers' expense. I'm done with it. My opinion is it's time for him to be laid off and go down to workforce and draw unemployment because I'm done with it. I am so done with it. So done with it. The other thing is immigration. It's like what's going on has been going on since the Clinton administration, maybe before that. And you're just screaming about it now because it's Trump. And I fall on the side of the people that say, well, if you're an American citizen and you break the law and you get sent to jail, your kids go into the system. It's the same thing. You're coming across the border, you're breaking the law. You're choosing to break the law. And to be honest with you, the other thing about immigration that is really killing me is like every one of y'all, every last one of you, yells about how shitty America is. How shitty it is. You're racist. You're this. You're that. And at the same time, you're trying to climb the damn fence to get in here. It beats the living hell out of me what the hell y'all are doing. It's better than the place we are, but we're still going to bitch about it. And it's like, God damn, shut the fuck up. It's like, if you bitch, you get over here and you bitch about Southern people flying the Confederate flag, yet you're flying your country of origin's flag. You're flying it all over the damn place, throwing it down people's throat. Well, hell, it offends me. If you come over here and you cross the border and you want to be an American citizen, then you stand up for the stars and bars and you quit waving the Mexican flag or the Guatemalan flag or the Ethiopian flag, whatever flag you're freaking waving. You quit waving it. And the other thing, come over here legally. I don't know what y'all think you're going to get by trying to get it. The only thing you're going to do by coming here illegally is get deported, thrown in jail. You know, your kids are going to get separated from you. And it's like, you know, well, they're good parents. They're trying to make it, you know, bring their kids to America. No, they're not. They're crossing the border knowing they're going to get separated from their kids. That's not being a good parent. I don't give a shit what you say. You know, it's like this whole thing, this whole last month has just been building and building. I've tried to avoid it. Tried my damnedest, but you can. It's on social media. And the other thing is, especially, and I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, whichever, before you post something on Facebook about immigration and what's going on, do a little research. You know, they posted some pictures last week on Facebook that were from the Obama era. They were like from 2014 saying, this is what Trump's done. And then when they realized what they'd done, they had to take all those posts down. It's like, oh my God. But Trump's still doing it. No, that was Obama. You know, so do your research before you post this shit on Facebook and get your facts straight. We get lied enough to by CNN and all the rest of them. You know, let's dial it back and tell the damn truth. And that, I'm going to go into my local TV stations. Y'all have got to start being more biased. I mean, you really do. At least half of your viewers, probably more, especially here in Northwest Arkansas, are conservative. So y'all got to quit playing the damn liberal side of everything and start being on the conservative side. And also conservatives out there, because I am a conservative. I'll just come right out and say it. I'm not scared. Been seeing the posts go around because I saw the Twitter and shit that Peter Fonda did, and he is a freaking idiot. And I'm like everybody else. Boycott his damn movie. Don't go see it. If, you know, it's like if he's going to make stupid statements, then don't go see his movie. And that goes back to also what we should be doing. Especially, you need to look at the big three car manufacturers. You need to look at like whoever that are doing advertisements on some of these really, really, really liberal shows like CNN and The View and things like that. And as conservatives who typically have the expendable income, start boycotting these people. I'll be honest with you. There was a company here in Town that when Yeti came out and did the bullshit it did, they quit carrying Yeti. Well, I've gotten to where if I go in a store or in a, someplace to do something, if they carry Yeti products, I walk the fuck out. I'm not dealing with that shit. If you're going to support Yeti, then I'm not going to support you. That's just basics, And I think as conservatives, we need to get to the point that we start looking at those things. When X car big three or whoever, whether it's one of the big three, Detroit big three or whoever, is running ads, which is advertisement dollars that they're getting on some of these conservative shows, quit buying them. It's like, nope, not going to buy a new vehicle from you. And give these, Oh my, and the thing about it is a lot of these CEOs and upper people in these corporations are conservative. Yet they're giving in to these liberal idiots and doing this shit. And it's like, y'all need to quit. You know, it's like my deal with Yeti was, it's like, who the hell do they think's buying their damn coolers? It's gun owners and outdoorsmen and fishermen, and you're going against the Second Amendment. It's like you're cutting your own damn throat. It's just stupid. So, as far as Bumpkin Bob goes, you know, I'll be honest with you right now. If I go in a place and they carry Yeti, I'll walk the fuck out. It's like, I'm not going to deal with you. I'm not going to buy from your company if you're going to carry Yetis, you know? And it's like, I walked into a store a couple of weeks ago with two of my coworkers and actually walked over to their sporting goods and they carry guns. They have guns and all this shit, including, and I'm not going to give you the name of the store, but they also carry AR-15s, assault rifles, which AR does not stand for assault rifles. We're not even going to get into that, but they carry assault rifles. They had a fucking Yeti display. I turned around and walked out. It's like, I'm not buying nothing from these people. It's like, this company is infringing on this store's rights to sell this stuff, and they're still selling their stuff. And it's like, no, I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to buy a gun from you. I'm not going to buy anything else that you sell in this store. I'm not going to do it. That's just the kind of asshole I am. And anybody out there that knows me knows I carry a fucking grudge. And it's one of those deals, it's like, once you do me wrong and I'm done with you, I'm fucking done with you. Do you understand that? Yeti, I'm done with you. So, you know, I'll go buy a damn styrofoam cup and cram it down in a what do they call them things? A solo cup. You know, so my solo cup's insulated, and drink out of that before I'll go buy a damn Yeti cup or I damn sure won't buy a Yeti cooler, however damn much them stupid things are. And it blows my mind that these people do that shit. Oh, and did I mention that y'all should go to bumpkinbob.com and sign up? I'm not sure if I mentioned that part or not. Now look, I'm going to say something else too. That's totally off of all the subjects we've been talking about. But I'm going to keep saying this all summer because, as y'all know, Bumpkin Bob's getting on up there in age itself. But this summer, especially here in Arkansas, looks like it's going to be a bear. We honestly have had some mild summers the last couple of years. And I've said this before. I think I said it last month. I'm going to say it every month. If you have elderly neighbors or elderly family members, check on them, please. God love them. It's hotter than shit. You know, go pick them up at noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, take them down to the mall, get a snow cone or some ice cream and sit in the malls. Malls are usually pretty, you know, they're air conditioned. And I'm talking about an indoor mall, dumbasses. Don't take them down to an outdoor mall and go, I took Grandpa down to the outdoor mall. He sweated his ass off. Well, of course he did. It's an outdoor mall, dipshit. So take him to an indoor mall. I don't know about all indoor malls. One here's got a Dippin' Dots, and if you ain't never had no Dippin' Dots, then you don't know what you're missing. So it's ice cream that's little bitty dot things. It's kind of cool. They blow ice cream, like they blow the cream through liquid nitrogen and it forms these little ice cream balls. It's kind of cool stuff. But anyway, so take care of your family. I talked to a niece of mine yesterday, and I need to find out how things went last night. I haven't asked. Her youngest boy is playing baseball. They went to district, and she called to ask some recommendations and some travel times to get to the Buffalo River from where they were going to be playing baseball. And it reminded me another thing to tell y'all, because we've been doing our series on the Wide, and we are going to finish that up when it starts getting a little cooler. But man, Arkansas has a lot of rivers out there, especially rivers like the Buffalo and the Kings and Illinois River over here. Get out and do a float trip. Take your kids. I think they were going to take their kids up around Jasper and just let them play in the water. Those are for hot summer. That's great. Also, I don't know if anybody knows the answer to this question. I'm sure some smart ass probably could give us the answer. How many lakes are in the state of Arkansas? But there is a buttload. So go to one of the lakes here in the state. I know when we've been doing the stuff on our White River, some of these lakes have upwards of 5. Is it 5? My brain went blank. They have a lot of shoreline. Let's just look at it that way before I stick my big ass foot in my mouth. A lot of shoreline there to hit and camp out and build you a little bonfire if it's legal. And, I will tell you this. I don't know if it's still true because, I'm 54 years old. When I was I think I was 14 or 15, went over to Lake Maumelle outside of Little Rock fishing with my brother-in-laws, and the game warden came up and said, "Y'all got a bank fishing permit?" It's like, well, hell no. Nobody knew you had to have a bank fishing permit. I didn't have to have one because I was under 16 and didn't have to have a fishing license. But he made my brother-in-laws both buy bank fishing permit. We've been going to Maumelle and fishing off the bank for years. Had no idea you had to have a bank fishing permit. So you might want to check that out. Watch where you're swimming. Some of the lakes in the state of Arkansas are deep, people. Deep, deep, deep. So don't just let your kids head out in the water without checking it out. Or the adults. Probably a bunch of adults out there that need life jackets on them too, because they ain't real bright. So, make sure you know where you're swimming, and make sure you know if you can build you a little campfire and have a cookout there on the shore or whatever. But man, get out there and enjoy the state of Arkansas. There's a lot of shit to do. And I'll be honest with you, I'm the world's worst. I sat here in my living room this morning going, man, I wish I could think of something to do. And we may, something probably need to talk about. I don't know how much time we got left. Probably not very much. We're probably closing in on an hour. I know my voice is getting tired, but there's another little thing we talked about. Is like how expensive hobbies are. Hobbies are pretty expensive. Maybe in the next few months we can get into that a little bit. So, but anyway, I want to remind you too, Twitter at Bumpkin Bob Show, Facebook, join the Bumpkin Army. Go over to bumpkinbob.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, as it gets to be an older episode, if you want to catch these episodes when they're new, go over to bumpkinbob.com and join. Any place that you can get a podcast, you can hear our podcast. So make sure you get over and listen to those. I would really, really like to have a career in acting. Somebody needs a bumpkin for, and pay them a couple $100,000 an episode to be in the series. I'm all up for that. I thought I'd throw that out there just in case anybody, might be watching. Anything like that. I'm pretty funny, pretty opinionated. But anyway, we're going to back out of here. Go Hogs, hammer down, woo pig suey, whatever you say. Root for the Hogs as they're going to, and hopefully next month we'll be on here. And I'll tell you what I will do. I'm going to go out on a limb here. This is for Dylan and Steph and Luke. If the Razorbacks win the national championship in baseball, I will make it a point to find a Razorback hat that will fit this big waterhead, and I will wear it next month on the show. You got that? Heard it from the horse's mouth, horse's ass, or however you want to say it. But anyway, check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and our website. And this is Bumpkin Bob, and we're out.